What happened
Oh
there,
yeah,
Mike?
my beautiful cacao. Look at this. Oh, look at that.
Oh, how's the bag? Oh,
I mean, you're gonna spill something in your bag.
if you're gonna spill something, yes, may as well be
Wow.
cacao. Has anybody done the research on putting cacao on your body as opposed to in your body? Or are you about to just invent something? Oh, there we go.
It's on. And delicious.
So this morning, I'm gonna go do a cold plunge with Trevor and Mike. I haven't met either of these people in real life. Been connected on LinkedIn. It's gonna be interesting to go see what this is all about. Got my toque and everything I need on a perfectly good spring day. I've got my winter coat out and my sorels, so I can be warm afterwards. This is gonna be kind of cool. So why am I doing this? Well, because Danielle, Grant, and Trevor like peer pressured me on LinkedIn, and I think I like to go challenge myself. And there's a piece of this that is just like, oh, I don't want to do this because it's gonna be uncomfortable. So this is exactly what I'm doing. It's gonna be uncomfortable. Let's go do the things that are uncomfortable. Let's go have some fun. To be fair, I'm a little nervous. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be unpleasant. But there's gonna be some learning to it. And it's doing something different. And it's pushing myself. And as I drive up here listening to Impact Theory with Arthur Brooks, talking about happiness, to get there is through progression. And if you want unhappiness, it's about regression. Well, this is some progression today.
We're gonna see where our entry point is today.
Yeah, it looks crisp.
That's fresh and cold water.
The nice part is as it continues to rise, it's almost like there's more tidal pools in the.
Yeah,
The
the
corners.
part we used to get ready might be
Yeah, exactly.
okay right now.
Yeah.
Nice big flat surface.
See how deep it is.
Nice little area.
It's a hidden little community back here.
Yeah, it's really starting to bloom here too. Getting thick.
Yeah.
Ooh wee.
Okay.
All right. Little shot. Oh yeah, well, I think we can.
Yeah, we used to sit right against that tree. Oh. But this is hot water. Yeah. So we can lay this up very well. And last week we went right. We got the zone in there.
Right.
Trev, I was thinking what we should do. I was thinking about this the other day actually.
What were you
You know,
thinking?
like those. You know those wooden stakes?
Yeah.
We could nail in a couple of wooden stakes right there and do a little bench across.
Oh,
To put our chairs to hold us so the water comes, but we're staying put.
Yeah. There you go. Sounds like a weekend project.
Saturday we got some wine barrel projects to do anyway.
Yeah. Want to go take a peek over there really quick? And just
Check
see
it out.
maybe that side, like walking across in that area over there.
Pool might be calm.
Yeah, let's go take a look real quick. It's only a minute down. Oh yeah, look at that, eh? I was thinking right there, Gene, where that water is just barreling.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Gene, have you ever done river plunging before?
No, we did a polar bear dip into the lake years ago, but that's been it. We're in 75 hard, had to do 5-minute cold showers for 30 days.
yeah.
One of the parts of that. So this is a new one. This is a new one.
Awesome.
That's why we're here. Do something new, meet some cool people.
Exactly. Well, if you're gonna start cold plunging, you may as well do the extreme of a raging river. See you in there. Oh, Mike had time to make the good stuff today.
Thank you, Mike.
Whew.
Episode 10.
Of the cold plunge.
Roof. No, Gene was going to say it.
I didn't know if Gene was gonna say it
Pointed
either
at
or not.
Gene and I was like,
Yeah. Doesn't everybody know what we're doing yet?
Nothing like a little LinkedIn peer pressure. You know, cold first thing in the morning.
Right? There you go. Well, we're glad you showed up.
I'm excited for the invite. I'm excited now, and I'm sure once I warm back up, I'll be excited again.
Oh,
For
yeah.
reflection.
Stuff is always easier, I guess you would say, when you do with other people, too. So if you just came strolling down here and hopped in that river on your own, or if I did,
Yeah.
let's not say you, let's put it in the eye. I don't know if I'd go in, but it's
We said
looking nice today.
We face funny elements that we don't really talk about, right? If you're gonna do this by yourself, it could be potentially dangerous, the shot you put your body into. We've talked about bear potential.
Oh, I hadn't even think about that, especially at this time of year.
Sorry to put that in your head.
Yeah. And then this is like where you sign your waiver verbally.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't got around to the paperwork yet.
Seeing that tree loosen like a tooth upstream there, that's impossible to wiggle. We're kind of in the, we probably want to swing that way, but
That's protection zone.
spider sense is a magical thing.
Yeah.
I've got friends that go hiking up knots every morning.
Yeah.
I go with them sometimes. Got them, he sends me a picture this morning. I send him a picture of the tennis court. He's like, well, this is either going to be a start of great friendship or the last picture I get from him. So
I love that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that when we get in the hiking and just getting up, and because that was how we essentially connected on this,
Yeah.
right? Like we've all known each other in little bits just through LinkedIn and common connections and that type of thing. But you see other people doing hard shit early in the morning. I think that's my people, you know.
I think that's been the one thing I've learned the most is like getting out and doing that hard shit and finding those who are just like, oh, wow, do that as
I
well.
do the same. Totally. Well, look at the time we're standing here right now.
Yeah.
Right? We all have very full lives. We all have kids. We all have jobs, probably multiple, but we're showing up for ourselves. At what are we at? Maybe 6:30 right now.
30ish, yeah.
Because all have to start our days around 8, so that's a testament in itself to what we're doing.
It's like that cliche of like invest in yourself, but like it's a cliche for a reason, right? We get to go before we give anywhere else. We give it to ourselves. And I think it's pretty. That's the cool thing.
100%. We had this. We've seen this theme in the past week with an upcoming retreat. I don't know if you've seen it yet. A men's retreat, and we put out some invites, and of course we've gotten some events or some feedback of, oh, I have a family event that weekend, or I can't do it because of X or Y.
Yeah.
And it's some are very understandable, but others is go golfing instead or things like that. And themes that like people forget we have to show up for ourselves, and that makes us better for our family time. Makes us better for our jobs. Makes us better at those different areas of our life. Right? It's easy to forget that and look at those other items as higher in the moment.
Yeah.
Important.
I think you gotta go do that hard stuff once in a while. I think like every day you gotta go do something hard in some shape or form to be able to show up in the best spot possible.
Yeah. Well, we were talking on the way over about the Daily Stoic book. There's a reading every single day, and yesterday was actually how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah.
Right? So you start training yourself to do those hard things, like you say, and then it just becomes second nature. You just do it on default. You don't hesitate.
Well, because it leaks into everywhere else in your life, right? It's just like reprogramming yourself, being like, oh, I can do hard things. Oh, I have. Then it's like you're talking about the learn, practice, train. It's just like,
Yes.
oh, I've done hard things. Be like, oh, I'm a person who does hard things.
Yeah.
That's hard things.
Well, we don't. There's weeks we haven't felt like showing up. That's for sure. I can say that safely for both of us. The kids were up the night before sick, or something's happened where we're like we barely slept, but we've been showing up and getting in freezing cold water.
Yeah.
And it's funny, we've both noticed how it has leaked into other parts of our life. Exactly what you're saying. Then you can compare it to something. Are you kidding me? I get up and do this. Or, it's neat.
So, Gene, would you say that you're at the practice phase here, or the?
I'd say today is definitely the practice.
This is the
phase.
practice. We're in the middle zone.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm doing it like with new friends as well, right? Like you're saying, Michael, like to come do this on your own, be like, that takes like a mountain, I think, like that practice, that commitment, be like, oh, this is just the thing I got to do. But like, get up at 5 a.m, make it up here. Like, I would not have dragged my ass out to do this on my.
Totally. It's an adventure each week. Last week you went to a new spot. We zoomed in.
Yep.
I was in Victoria for work, so I found some ocean, and there's people running their dogs by, and then I started to get a little freaked out about ocean stuff because he was talking about fish in the water.
It was a muskrat, by the way.
Never mind ocean, but he got in my head, and
Yeah.
it was pretty funny. Too.
There was a muskrat in the water. I looked it up later. Yeah, something jumped, something splashed around me. And,
Oh, really?
yeah, I had to say it out loud, like, geez, there's a muskrat in the lake. And he's out swimming in the ocean.
So our tradition of the cold plunge truth is always a little bit of breath work and just a brief meditation to ground ourselves in exactly where we are in nature and together as we get in there to experience some extreme conditions and have some good chats. So I'll invite you both to close down your eyes. And at first here, let's just really settle in. I want you to hear the birds chirping in the distance, the water flowing, washing over all the rocks, inviting us. If there's any light wind blowing over us, it's taking away any little worries, any little other items we had on our minds this morning, allowing it to flow away, to be present in this moment. Let our energies connect, new friendship, new opportunities. And as we go into this water, again, water is a symbol of washing away anything that does not serve us. And we come out anew. So what we'll do to warm up the bodies and get this started is we're going to do 2 rounds of conscious connected breathing. So what that is we're going to take a deep breath in and then immediately a breath out. Okay, no pause at the top, no pause at the bottom. If you're feeling calm this morning, you can keep those nice and gentle. If you feel like warming your body and getting fired up and creating energy, you can force the breath a little bit. We're going to do about 10 to 15 breaths. I will guide. And when I say release at the end of your first 10 to 15, you're going to hold at the bottom for about 15 seconds. After that 15 seconds, you're going to do a very strong breath in through the nose, and then another hold at the top, and then we'll go right into round 2 of breath. Again, I'll guide the whole process, but as you breathe in, I want you to breathe in light. I want you to breathe in positivity. I want you to breathe in strength. As we breathe out, there's any darkness within us, anything that does not serve us, flows away into the river, away into nature to be cleansed. So we'll start our breath in 3, 2, 1. As you continue to breathe again, I want that connection to grow stronger. That connection with the in-sync breath between us. That connection with nature. That connection with becoming a better individual. The connection with elevating yourself. The connection that anything is possible. We are limitless beings. Any breath out, any doubts you've had, any frustrations, any anger, anything that does not serve us to become better. On our next exhale, hold. Feel the energy flowing through your body. Feel the change that's coming over your body. With each breath, our energy shifts. With each breath, everything becomes more possible. breathe in 3, 2, 1. Let the energy go right up your spine. Do a hold at the top. Feel the energy all the way up through your crown chakra, connecting with the universe, connecting with nature. As we hold again, feel the power vibrating through your spine, up through your crown. Hear the call of the water inviting us again. Feel the energy poking out in the different parts of your body, dancing. And in 3, 2, 1, release. Go right back into breath for round 2. Breath further activates our system, brings it alive. Everything within is dancing. We become further connected. We acknowledge the power of the breath. Acknowledge and respect and are grateful for the power of nature and our connection with nature. On our next breath, we'll do one final hold out. And just embrace the silence and the sounds around us. One final breath in with a hold at the top in 3, 2, 1. One final release. Just take your time here to acknowledge yourself, to thank yourself for showing up today, for showing up for you. As we do things that challenge ourselves, we create space within. We allow space to serve others. There's nothing stronger in this world than service, and pure, genuine service to others, without any expectations. And as we go through our journeys, we become better humans. This is what the universe allows us to do. So first, look at bettering ourselves, in order to deliver greatness to others in all aspects of our lives. Please, one hand over your heart. I want you to feel that gratefulness for being whole today, for being able to breathe unassisted, for being able to walk down into this forest, and for having the courage to just want to be better. When you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes and start to come back. Get ready to get cold as shit.
Okay, we are rolling. Cold Plunge Truth, episode 10. About to step in.
Woohoo! It's time, baby. I say woohoo now.
Yes. Oh, you'll say woo. You'll say a few things once you get in there. Yes. All right, follow our lead.
All right.
Don't go inside.
All right.
We're good, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is perfect, man. Look at how calm this is right here. So I think if, oh, this is beautiful.
Want Gene to go here?
Maybe, eh? Yeah, why don't you go in between us?
So he's closer to you.
How you doing there, Gene?
Oh, that hurts. That hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come right
You're
in
gonna
here,
come right
there.
Yeah.
You guys are over yet?
Okay, ready for it? No. Here we go. Go down in 3, 2.
All right, let's get in. Whoa. Woo!
You're all bad men.
On that breath. Mike, you got a natural chair over there today.
Beautiful. Nature delivers, my friend. I feel like I had one of those things inside my bed, those nice waterfalls, those nice gentle ones.
Yeah.
Whoa.
How are we settling, Dean? Never been good.
It's definitely that first 30,
Yeah.
60 seconds.
I can feel myself relaxing more into it now. My feet are just like, oh, we're gonna be so mad.
What was going through your head there when we first walked in?
I was just like, oh, can we back out? Is it done yet? In the core, it's not bad at all. Like, it's actually like refreshing, as crazy as that sounds. But like,
Wakes it up.
yeah,
The rest where we don't have much insulation, right? And the blood rests.
So we were saying before we hopped in that this episode, just like all of them, kind of writes themselves, you know, a little bit of a theme. And to me, it was, you know, how you do one thing is how you do everything. You know, learn, practice, train.
Yeah.
We were talking on the way down that you're a dad
yeah.
to many children.
Oh, yeah.
You maybe want to speak about that, about like family dynamic and what you being here does for those kids as well.
Oh, that's a great question. You know, I think, well, as we were doing the breath work, the question that came to me is, what is this going to teach me today? And it's to do something, I said it earlier, but like, if I'm willing to go do something hard like this, then what is that? It's not just speaking to it, right? Like, I think there's a whole lot, do as I say, not as I do. It's such a like poor modeling behavior for like a leader and a father and a parent and everything else that you're going to be. Is like, if I'm willing to come sit in this creek, meet some new friends that we've known each other on LinkedIn, like crazy to think that a platform like that, we're in our own backyard. I get to sit in a place in my own backyard that I've never explored before, and relaxing into this coldness. Like, I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. It's like, where else can we go deeper today? It's like, I've done this. Now what?
I think what came up for me when you said that is something resonated with what you told us earlier about your son in football.
Yeah.
Competitive football, right? And you know, I'm sure you support him in many ways, and one is motivating. And look at exactly what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
You know, he does in a similar fashion in terms of pushing himself, challenging himself.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
you're not talking the talk, you're walking the walk, and putting yourself through such a challenge, right?
Yeah.
And that's absolutely something that he's going to see, regardless of whether you chat through it or not.
Yeah.
Look up to dad, right?
Oh.
Dad can do it.
Well, and I'm his bonus dad. So he's actually in Dominican Republic right now with his dad for a wedding. And he's posting pictures of working out every day. So it's just like, even though he's on vacation, he's still training and committing to it. So if if a 15-year-old can be that committed, then I guess a 42-year-old should be able to push himself into the uncomfortable and the unknown as well.
I was just gonna say, it's kind of like what you and I were chatting about yesterday through the WhatsApp too. It's what do we do when nobody's watching as well? Because of course we're recording this, and naturally there's this tendency of like, all right, well, if I'm freaking out, the world is gonna see it. And actually, to be okay with that too, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with freaking out, especially when you do new things that are challenging. A lot of times people will just never even take the leap. But doing things when nobody's looking that you would do regardless of whether somebody was watching or not, I think that's another just important reminder for people. Like, and it's an example for the kids, right?
I think it speaks to integrity as well, right? Like, we've now gone and deposited this into our well of shit we've done, and when it comes to times like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that, be like, well, here we are laughing in this fucking cold ass creek, going, well, if I can do this, what else? I can obviously go do other things of integrity, right? Like,
we're creating part of our blueprint for what we can do in our life, right? Absolutely, it's the underlying foundation for what guides other challenges.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, is like, what else? Like, if you can do this, what else can you do? Is it cold? Am I shivering? Yeah, but like, it's weirdly peaceful. Like, that's the interesting part of doing it. I've done like that cold plunge into the lake where it's like you go dip and get the hell out. But what are we at? Like,
it's about 6.5 minutes.
6 minutes in here is like, just thinking about that just releases even more.
Yeah, we surprise ourselves all the time when we actually just take the leap and then trust that the people that are around us will be there to guide us and support us. And it's I know Mike and I, as we've been doing this together and as we've co-created the retreat even too, it's a mission of getting every single man uncomfortable so that we can actually lift every other man up.
I love that.
Yeah, we started our retreat as we were going to do a dad's retreat. Which is great and all, but then Doug really had to put it in perspective that really every man in the world should be a role model for the world's kids, right? And that's why we expanded it beyond, and I think it's exactly what should have happened in the way it's supposed to be, because every man and woman in the world should be a role model for others.
Oh, I agree. So tell me more about your retreat. I'm interested.
Well, it's funny. It's actually like right by your house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's on the way out to the Big White. Oh, actually, that was a secret. We weren't supposed to disclose that, Mike.
We'll edit that out.
All right, we'll edit that piece out. Actually, nobody will find it anyways. But yeah, it's June 10th to 12th. It's going to be 10 magnificent men joining together, doing hard shit together. We're going to be doing some cold plunging in wine barrels. We got the electric e-foils that we'll do together out on the lake.
A sauna on site.
Yeah, we got a wood-fired sauna on site.
Meditation. We got it catered by a local awesome chef. And just some roundtable discussions, some great connection, and very, very powerful.
Yeah, I think men need more of this.
Oh, 100%. Well, it proved it when we launched it only a week ago, and we have 2 spots left.
Oh, wow.
So very overwhelming response, and we're super blessed to see that kind of response.
You guys are definitely onto something.
We're all craving in-person connection, and here we are, shoulder to shoulder. But I think it's time to get out, Gene. You did a freaking bang-up job, man. This is awesome.
Well, thanks for inviting me, guys. This is, I'm glad I came.
Oh, we appreciate you joining us. It's always, it takes courage to want to do this. Very brave to want to step into this much discomfort.
Well, 10 minutes ago, I wasn't glad I came. I'm definitely glad I came now.
Actually, let's give it 4, 3, 2, 1. There's your 10-minute mark. All right, let's step out. Now watch your feet. Take your time. Yeah, your legs are going to be tight.
Sometimes you're a bit dizzy, a bit lightheaded too.
What a calm little spot, eh?
That was a good spot, yeah.
Whew. All right, we're fresh out of the water.
That was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
but fresh.
Oh, very fresh.
Yeah,
Like I said, my body's tingling everywhere.
I know, right? Well, this little climb at the end here too really gets the blood moving.
Yeah.
So we were just chatting real quick, and I said, "Hey, hold on, let's record that." But we were trying to remember where we first connected. I think it was just seeing each other's content in the news feed on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and well, we've got that mutual connection, Danielle Grant, who's
Right.
I've been on her podcast. She's been on my show, the Livecast Conversations with.
Yes.
Find that on YouTube under Peel Back.
We'll link it up.
Yeah, and just how small the world is, and how putting that content out there can sometimes turn into meeting two cool new friends that you don't get cold with.
Well, like attracts like. I actually wrote that in a post yesterday, and it's so true though.
Oh yeah.
You actually have to start speaking out loud, showing up every single day, creating. That's the biggest thing, is just keep creating, you know? There's a lot of really smart people, really well-intentioned people that do a lot of the learning,
Yeah.
maybe even the practicing, but they don't actually train, like show up every single day and just put it out into the world, right?
I agree with that. A friend of mine, again, another LinkedIn connection. So he's originally from Calgary, lives in New Zealand now. But one of his mottos is today's connection is tomorrow's opportunity. And that's held true,
Yeah.
right?
Love that.
Without yesterday's connection, I would never have had the opportunity to go do something which is wildly out of everybody's comfort zone, honestly. Let's be honest. But to go do that and sit with it for 10 minutes, guys, I'm actually saying that was a blast.
Yeah.
I can see why you guys do that and have this ritual and what
Buzzing
and
for
what,
hours.
and what you are doing, and I'm excited to learn more about your this retreat that you guys have going on. I think it's going to serve a lot of men.
Yes. We'll just keep vibrating out and people keep showing up. So, but yeah, the other thing I noticed about your LinkedIn profile, because I do my research before too, is you actually talk about that, about like courage,
Yeah.
bravery, and you coach as well, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about the kind of people that you work with, and there was a few things that really stood out, which, you know, just to paraphrase, it was kind of, you know, when you need that little push,
Yeah.
I'll be your guy. I'll push you. Let's go. But maybe speak about what you do.
Well, you know, the short version is I like to be the instigator that stirs up shit to light the fire up in
That's
others.
what it was. Stir up shit.
Yeah.
That was exactly the word that was in there.
So my coaching, I work with like founders and leaders into, you know, that S&B space that I call it get stuck in the fog. Want them to like live their life beyond
That was the
fog.
other word, right?
Right. So for me, what I've learned about the fog is it's exactly what we just did. It's the training ground to go do all the things that you need to learn to take yourself from here to there.
Yeah. And all right, let's stop for a second. Maybe just speak out loud too about the coaching side of things, because I've been in, you know, the digital marketing space for 15 years and
Yeah.
worked with a lot of coaches and consultants that just go out and get their certifications and that's it. You know,
Yeah.
they learn, but then they don't actually apply. Why do you think it's important for people to have a coach, even when they have tons of experience, decades
Well,
in some cases?
I think we all get stuck in our own perspectives, right? Like the idea, especially when we have tons and tons of experience, we start to think that we know the right way, and there is no one way. There's a lot of ways of going about it. It's like the metaphor that resonates with me around that. It's like put three blind people or blindfolded people into a room with an elephant. One feels a fan, one feels a trunk, one feels a tree. But you take those blindfolds off and you get this whole picture, right? So how do you bring all these different perspectives to it? Is what I've learned out of all the tools and trainings through CTI and other stuff and being an entrepreneur myself is like, the more you can look at things from different angles, the more ahas you're going to have, right? And I think we get really stuck going, this has got to be the right way.
Yeah.
And it is one way, right? And having somebody who's actually going to hold your feet to the fire, like being a coach is like, what I love is the aha moments. And to get them, you're taking them into their own cold plunge and going into some really uncomfortable places that they won't go on their own. As we were talking about before this, be like, who willingly goes and does this by themselves? But you get 3 friends together, oh yeah, we can go do that, right? That's the same thing with being in coaching. Is like, I come from this place of love. I will stand on the other side saying, this is where I know you can be through the things that you can do. You just can't see that yet. So let's love you and sometimes kick your ass and get you through all that.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing when you surrender to the idea of owning your gifts, being the guide, being the coach, but then also be humble enough to go, I'm a lifelong student as well.
Well,
That's why we show up for this, right?
You never stop learning, right? And like I was saying, when we came up here, listening to Impact Theory, Arthur Brooks talks about happiness is that idea of progression.
Mm-hmm.
So constantly progressing, right? Like there's no end state. The work is never done. That's the trick.
Yep.
That's the secret. The work is never done. And if you think it's done, you're gonna start. That's the decline.
There's no destination.
It's the journey.
It's the journey.
It really is.
Yeah. Speaking of journeys, let's get you to that truck and those heated seats.
All right.
Because we got hot tubs to get in at our place. All right, thanks for doing this, man.
All right, well, thanks for
awesome.
inviting me. It was a lot of fun. So I just completed the cold plunge with Trevor and Michael. It's interesting. As we walked down to the beach, I'm like, this is going to be great. And then as we got closer, like, oh, it's going to be cold. And it was cold, right? The first, my instinct was when I got into that water was to get out. Like, my shins were on fire. Like, it hurt. And then they sat down. I sat my ass on a rock going, all right, maybe I can get away with just sitting here. And I heard that little voice going, we don't have to do this, do we? We can bail. And they went 1, 2, 3, and we sat down. And face going beyond that little voice, going, run, get out of here, this is uncomfortable. That was something. That was the training. While we were doing the breath work, the question popped into my head is like, what are you going to teach me today? Stepping beyond that cold, sinking into it. As we were sitting in there for 10 minutes, I allowed myself to sink further and further into that chair. Got my feet totally underwater. Dipped my arms under a little bit. Kept my hands up, because that was the recommendation from the guys. And then we just had this incredible 10-minute conversation. And it was like, I feel really alive right now. And then as we got out, it was, in my mind, I'm practicing slowing down. So I stood on my towel, slowly dried my feet, slowly dried my shorts off, slowly put my pants on, and stood there just in my shorts before I even put my pants on. Stood there just in my shorts and took it in. It's like, what can you find when you slow down? And sitting in that cold, it's like, I thought everything was going to be like rush, rush, rush. 10 minutes went by like nothing. And there wasn't pacing and there wasn't racing. So gentlemen, thank you very much for having me today. That was a lot of fun.